Well, folks, that was Charles LeMay and his new project, Magna Cart. And unfortunately today, the sharks just weren't biting. Let's see if this next middle-aged entrepreneur, Dan Gerard, can get a little more action out of them. He is starting his own mountain biking company and attempting to pedal his way to the finish with a great new idea and business plan to execute it. Hello, Sharks. My name is Dan Gerard, and today I'm bringing to you a one-of-a-kind bicycle named Kona Bikes. So this might be just one of our prototypes, but we offer a variety of different kinds of bikes with our service. We have anything from commuter bikes like mountain bikes to downhill bikes to road bikes to electric bikes. We've got the whole shebang. We are revolutionizing the way that people ride bikes in the world. So what I'm offering you here today is going to be 100% equity in my company for an A+ in operations management. We're going to be focusing today on our shop that we have here in Bellingham, Washington, the Kona Bike Shop. We actually receive everything into our Ferndale warehouse that is in full force. We receive all of our parts from Taiwan, actually, before that. And everything is built in Taiwan, and then we actually receive everything into our Ferndale shop, and that's where everything is assembled and then distributed to our Kona Bike Shop here in town, and then distributed out to the customers. We have a variety of different items, anywhere from our bikes to our different gear that we actually sell, such as helmets, clothing, gloves, shoes, all the accessories that you need to be able to get off the mountain. However, our main focus is going to be our Class A items, which is actually the bikes themselves, so that will be our focus for today. So in our Kona Bike Shop up here in Bellingham, we actually have 7 employees. That ranges anywhere from the customer service people to the mechanics to the actual supervisors and managers that keep the day-to-day operations in full force. And so within our Kona Bike Shop just up here in town, we sell 95% locally and then 5% regionally. And as of right now, we've been able to get our revenues up to about $1 million in sales just within the last year. We're hoping that next year, after our investments, we are going to be able to double that number, if not triple, based on being able to see how the market is increasing in the Bellingham area. Customization is a future avenue that we hope to access. But right now, our products are approximately 98% made to stock. This has been very successful because it allows us to make profit during our seasonal demand, which peaks in the summer and fall. People are getting outside and the rain isn't pouring as hard, so we see a big, huge spike in the customer demand during these seasonal periods.
Can you touch on your supply chain a little bit, like run me through from the beginning to the end?
Of course. So I touched on this a little bit earlier. We receive 99% of our supplies from international suppliers, such as Taiwan, and then get the rest from local ones. Our bikes are Class A products and take up 90% of our raw materials and components. These parts usually arrive within 60 days or less.
60 days or less? That's some considerable lead time.
Yes, it is. So the remaining 10% is shipped more quick. Oh, actually, I'm going to start right there with the camera on me. The remaining 10% is shipped to us within 7 days or less. We have one large supplier that we get all these items from, which is in Taiwan, and they have approximately 15 different suppliers that they actually receive their raw materials from. Taiwan, they receive the raw materials from these 15 different brands, and then they actually build up the components. They ship the components to our Ferndale location. The Ferndale locations actually assemble all those different components, and then they sell it either on our online stores, or they ship it out to our different Bellingham store, and then we directly give it straight to the consumer. Sorry. So spot on that 100% of our sales are actually completed within the 7 days. That means having the bike in the person's hand for an online purchase. As well as that, of course, excludes the people that actually come in and buy the bike in person. It is normally ready on the spot.
That's not bad.
Well, thank you, Robert. So to wrap things up, Sharks, remember, what I came here for is to be able to ask for 100% equity in my company for an A+ in operations management. And the reason why I'm requesting this is so that I can bring on a business partner to really help me make my supply chain as optimal as possible. I know right now there are some difficulties within it. Having to wait 60 days for lead time at times to get my material all the way from Taiwan, and I know we can reduce these numbers. However, I need a partner with a lot more experience to be able to do this, so that is where your value is coming. Thank you.
Well, Dan, you have a very interesting business idea here. I see that you have very reliable suppliers, having this one supplier for so long, but it does not seem like it's very wise having no flexibility on that end. having the lead time being 60 and then having all of your parts being shipped from Taiwan just seems like a long process, and it'll be too costly.
And not to mention, Dan, the tariffs, the issues going on there with China right now, it's going to be very costly to bring in things close to that region because of the natural effect that they have on the other countries surrounding them. So I see that this having one supplier is really going to be affected by those tariffs. So we should really think about improving the flexibility on that.
Yeah, improving your flexibility would be a key. I see that your prices are somewhat flexible, but I also can tell that you did not account for the tariffs that would have to take place from the importing.
And of course, Dan, you have 7 days shipping to your customers, which is awesome. The lack of customization, though, is really integral there because customization is a very strong driving business strength to have in this modern business world. We would like to see you do more of an effort on meeting customer demands as far as that aspect of it, where you were definitely nailing it for the delivery time.
Information on why you would choose to have this supplier for so long?
Yes, the reason why I've chosen to have this supplier for so long is because they've been very reliable. I've always been able to count on them, making sure that I get my parts within the time that they say. However, it is still a long time, so that's what we're trying to reduce here. That's why I do know there is a lot of room for improvement, and why I've come to you guys.
Now, there is affordability in having a long-term relationship so you can negotiate prices with one supplier. But Dan, there must be potential out there for other long-term deals that you can make with other suppliers that aren't just located in Taiwan. So you can spread this risk out for you, and you don't have to rely on just one supplier for all your important goods manufactured to keep up with the manufacturing and match demand, so you're not in any shortages. Dan, I'm prepared to make you a counteroffer. 100% equity for an A-.
Man, do you hear this guy? That's how low his offer was. Here's my offer. 100% equity for an A+ in operations management. I will match what your offer is and take you on, and we'll be able to get in QVC tomorrow. What do you say? You want my offer?
You know what, Robert? Let's do it. I think it's time to make a deal.
You won't regret this.
You won't either, sir. You ready to take it out for a test ride right now?
Let's go. Oh, I love bikes.
All right, Robert, let's go.
See you next time on Shark Tank. Come on. Come on.